and welcome to another episode of All Myths Are True here on Game Nights. I'm your host and your game master and your best friend, Savvy, and we're here to play a game. But before we do, let's talk about what we got going on the rest of the week. I gotta look at the schedule over here. What do we have going on the rest of the week? Well, it's Thursday, so we're doing that today. On Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll have a new episode of Saturday Night's Thunderball.
Thunderball.
Thank you. It's Dungeons and Dragons, but also sports, and it's getting really fun and pretty exciting. We're about to, I think, start a new Thunderball match here coming up soon. It's really fun. Come check it out. All of us playing it, and it's good. And Sean runs it. And then on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, we will have a new episode of The Pursuit of the Black Kestrel, our formerly Pathfinder 2nd Edition, now Dungeons & Dragons 5th Edition game, because we got what we wanted out of playing Pathfinder, that Sean also runs. So that's at 4 p.m. on Sunday. And then at a currently to be announced time, because I haven't picked a time yet, on Monday, we are going to have another round of a Carbon Banner one shot. The mech fighting tabletop game that Sean has written. We're giving it some more playtesting, and this time he's gonna let it go a little bit, and I'm gonna run it. So we'll see a lot of the same friends that we did last week when we did it. Well, it's going to be sometime Monday night. We'll announce it on the Twitters. Is there anything else happening next week? I forgot about.
Oh, next week. No, you can wait on that. JK, lol.
Ominous.
Well, okay.
And
Don't you guys have your Tuesday game?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, we do have AOs.
Oh shit! I'm still getting used
Barry's
to
not here to remind us.
God,
Yeah.
damn it, Barry!
Damn it,
Yeah.
Barry, indeed.
Damn it, Barry. Yeah, on Tuesday,
Damn it,
I'm
damn
still
it,
getting.
Barry.
It's only been a couple. I'm still getting used to that one. On Tuesday, at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we will have a new episode of Eos, which is the other D&D game that we play. It's D&D 5e that Barry, who is not currently here but will be here shortly, runs for us, and a lot of us play in that as well. Yeah, and then some other one-shots and things that we've got coming down the pike that we will announce on Twitter once those are set in stone, and also on Discord. I think that's it as far as my announcements go. Excuse me. All right. So, I'm pulling up Roll20. Sorry, it's moving really slow, fam. Anybody got anything else they want to talk about for like 15 seconds?
Woo, the 80s.
All right.
Radical.
Radical.
All right, there we go. Got it. All right. We will pick up. I'm probably gonna need some more dramatic music than that in a second. Pretty much right where we left off. So last time on All Myths Are True, we began a new mystery. The kids here discovered that something strange was going on with the birds of Fountain City, Alabama. They are doing a lot of weird things, such as building giant nests in trees and banding together and doing all kinds of interesting things that birds don't normally do, like talking to people. So you set out to investigate. You followed a group of them with Barry the dog's help, tracking them to a grove near Hackberry Lake off of the Alabama River, and found the biggest bird nest you've ever seen. Within that nest, you found lots of birds, many of whom could talk, and also a clue, a piece of metal with an ID number on it from a Magnetrine ship. You also found that you were being watched. You split off, two of you following the girl on a bicycle that had been watching you up in the bird's nest, and the other two of you to research said magnetrine ship and see if you could find it. Which, if memory serves, you did. Not only did you find said half sort of sunken magnetrine ship, you found some of its current inhabitants, some big, mean birds that saw you coming. And so we're gonna pick up with Mel and Danny, as from out of the sky, a large hawk comes swooping down towards you, sort of barreling in your direction. What do you do?
Blast it with magic. JK.
You don't have magic.
Is there any way, can we hide like underneath like the magnetrine thing? Like how close are we to it?
You were about halfway between sort of the edge of the trees and the ship, so you can make a run for it. This one's some exciting music.
Yeah.
What's this one? That's really exciting for birds, but we're gonna go with it.
I like it.
Because you're all
Some
12,
exciting
it's very
birds.
exciting. So this bird is sort of dive bombing you. You want to make a run for it and try to sort of dive into some of the twisted metal. The ship is mostly in one piece, but there are some kind of like busted pieces that maybe you could hide under
Yeah.
if you can move fast enough.
All right. Okay. Move. Let's
So
see.
that is your body and your move skill.
Okay.
If you want. Mel, do you also want to run for it?
Yeah, that sounds like the best plan.
I
Yeah,
like you
roll
guys
supplies.
running towards the dangerous thing.
We don't know it's dangerous. Okay. I got 1 success.
Okay.
All right. I got 0 successes on 6 dice. Love this game.
Do you want to do anything about it?
I'll push it.
Okay.
Is that what it's called?
You can push the roll.
Yeah.
So you can retry by rolling,
And I gain a
re-rolling
condition.
all of your failed dice.
Okay.
And yes, you will gain a condition.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's been a while since we've done this.
All right, that's 3 successes.
Oh, dang.
Jeez. Okay. So first, tell me how you push yourself to succeed in the face of failure, and then you can choose a condition to mark.
Okay. I will. I think starts. I think this is what works. I think he starts running, and we're in the woods, and I think Mel catches his foot on like a root, and like twists his ankle pretty bad, and then starts like just instead of just lying there and accepting his fate, though, just takes a deep breath, remembers what all the superheroes he reads about would do, and they wouldn't let something like that stop him. So he just gets up and he starts running on his injured ankle and as fast as he can.
Okay. So I assume you want to mark injured.
Yeah, and I get 2 bonus effects.
2 bonus, yeah. Which
And
those are give a success to another kid, impress someone, or no one notices you.
2 of those seem completely irrelevant because the one of them's already succeeded, and the other, and we're already noticed. So I guess I impressed 2 people nearby. I impressed the birds, and I
Yes.
impressed Danny.
Okay.
I would
Yeah,
impress Mike if I could.
If only he was here. Mel, everyone is just like super impressed with you lately. It's
Yeah.
Like, damn, son.
uh,
Look at you go.
So, yeah, Danny, I think you run for it and you sort of dive underneath this kind of this large like metal sheet that is sticking sideways out of the wet earth, and then you hear Mel, I think, sort of fall behind you. But immediately, as this large hawk is kind of crawling and swooping down towards him, you see him pull himself up and limping a little bit, take off running towards you, just full determination just across his face. Limping a little, he sort of scurries over and pushes underneath the sheet where you are, and the two of you can hear the bird sort of crying out overhead. And it swoops down a couple of times but cannot currently get to you where you are.
Okay, that looks like that hurt.
Yeah. Ow. He kind of looks around. I don't think he has anything to like wrap his leg in, so just picks up a branch to lean on. Just says, "Well, we're here. Might as well see what this whole thing's about."
Yeah.
Okay. And you look around from underneath where you are. We're gonna stop for just a second, since you're both safe and not in immediate danger anymore, because Barry's here.
Ew.
So we're going to get him in the call real quick. Give us just a second, everybody. He is not gonna want to miss this. And we're back. One stronger. Barry's here, everybody. Yay!
Yeah.
We're so glad. All right, so we are going to continue on. Mel, you pick up sort of a stick from the ground, kind of leaning on it as you're the two of you are sort of crouched under this this like metal sheet. And on one side of you, you have the like the large side of the metal magnetrine ship. A ways down, you can see a like a large door that's like rounded at the top. That would lead you inside.
And remind me, is this thing like in the water partially, or is it just on the edge of the lake?
It's near the lake. It's not quite in the water, but the ground here is sort of wet. And it's kind of laying upright, but like listing to one side.
Okay.
Just a little bit, as if it sort of landed here and never left.
But we're gonna if we're gonna move to that door, we're gonna be exposed again to the
Yes.
birds.
For the bird.
All right.
Maybe we could wait till it circles back around or something.
Yeah, and then we can just like sneak over there and see. I can send I can send Barry off in like another direction and have him run home. And that might
That's a good
get
idea.
the birds to. Well, he's faster than them, so I'm sure he'll be fine.
Are these birds bigger than Barry the dog? I can't remember how big these birds are.
How big is Barry the dog?
Yeah, he's not. What did I say? He was an Australian Shepherd, so
He did, yeah.
Oh, okay, so he's like medium sized. Okay.
yeah.
A hawk. These are red-tailed hawks.
Oh, okay.
Wingspan wise, they're gonna be bigger than him. They're about. I mean, the big ones are about 2 feet toe to tip.
Okay.
Red-tailed hawks have a wingspan of average of 4 feet. Everyone.
Yikes.
I learned a lot about birds these past couple of weeks.
Yeah, maybe that's not the best
Oh, I can show
idea.
you the thing. Here, you guys have seen this guy.
Make some dog armor real quick
Yeah.
for Barry.
Burb.
Oh, hello, Burb.
So that's what a red-tailed hawk looks like.
I don't want
Oh,
Barry to
I
get
like that.
hurt.
A little bit of information about him. If you're interested.
Yeah, maybe we just wait
It's-
until
a
they.
red-tailed hawk is a big bird.
But not the big bird.
No,
We haven't seen him yet.
Yeah.
It's
I
not
mean,
a
you guys, the two of you are from here. I will give you that. You've seen these birds. You know how big they are. You also know how they hunt. They hunt like ground rodents and stuff.
Okay.
So, I mean,
But
a
if
dog's
one
not
had-
a rodent, but
But if it's attacking us, it's probably going to attack Barry. And yeah. Yeah, maybe just wait till they calm down a bit and then, run quietly.
Yeah. Can I take I want to take like a peek out and see if there's more these mean hawks around.
I don't know that you have to roll to see birds.
Okay.
You know what birds look like. I think you sort of peek out and you can see this one sort of large hawk circling around. Up in the trees, you see a couple of more, and then higher up, sort of circling far up in the sky, sort of above the hawk, you see another sort of large bird with this like it's all white feathers with black like tips on its wings and tail, which I think I told you guys what this one was last time.
Oh, you did. What?
Looking back through my notes.
I remember. It's like what? What is it? Shoot, you did
Looking
tell
for
us.
a name in my notes. I know we definitely got it because I googled it so I could know what it was.
I've got a handout I can show you. I just want to see if anybody remembered. It's called a swallow-tailed kite.
Okay, I was thinking. I was like kite. I wasn't sure. Okay.
But yes, it's again these are larger than hawks. But yeah, they have sort of all white bodies and wings, and then the tips of their wing feathers and their swallowtails, which for those of you at home, they have like this large kind of V-shaped tail where the point of the V would be coming out of their body, and their tail sort of splays out are black. They're very striking. It's a very striking bird up there, sort of circling against the summer sky. So yeah, there are 3 or 4 of them sort of circling the area.
Another thought. What if we try to? What if they can talk like those other birds can?
Okay. See if we can just convince them to leave us alone.
Or ask them why they want to dive bomb us. Never seen a bird do that before.
Yeah, if you're feeling. I have a hard enough time relating to kids my own age, so I feel like I won't relate that well to birds. So if you want to try talking to them, well, I've got your back.
Okay.
God, there's
I
so
feel
many
like
bird handouts in my
So many
screen.
So I
Birds.
just showed you guys the burbs that you've met.
Okay.
Oh, hello, all bird friends.
The robins and the woodpeckers are in there too. Just so everybody has a picture of what they look
I
like.
want to learn so much about birds.
Yeah.
Birds, 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 birds. Okay. Danny's gonna like sneak out a little bit from underneath.
Okay.
What do you see the birds? It's gonna like cup her hands around her mouth and just yell at the birds and be like, "Hey, why are you attacking us?"
Okay. You sort of duck out just a little bit and cup your hands around and yell, and you hear this sort of squealing like caw from up high, as the kite and the one flying hawk sort of circle a little bit faster, and then much like before, that large hawk sort of screams and starts to dive back down toward you.
Ugh. Okay, go scramble back. Is there anything I could use as a potential weapon? I know Mel just grabbed like a stick. Is there any like piece of metal or something just in case?
Yeah, I did say you guys are sort of around some debris. I guess you can pull out sort of like a bent, like a metal. I'll say like a rod that's sort of bent, kind of in the shape of like a crowbar, like a tire iron, something like that. Kind of
Okay.
an L shape. But yeah, you're right next to there, so you just kind of duck back in very quickly as the you all can hear like the rustle of feathers, like the cawing as the hawk skims down, almost touching the ground, and then flying back up above you.
Well, yeah, I don't want to hit a bird, but
Well,
looks like they were pretty quick to dive down.
yeah, if it's gonna hit us, then I think we're within our right. Yeah, well, maybe we just try sneaking across and see if they'll just not notice us, like super quick.
All right, let me. Is there anything I can do to help Mel out with his ankle? I can't remember. I feel like there's a mechanic. Oh, but that's in the hideout. That's what I'm probably thinking of. Like when you're in the hideout, you can heal stuff.
Yeah, for getting rid of conditions, there is outside of the hideout, the lead move allows you to do that. It is spending time privately with another kid, giving them advice or comfort. You can heal one of their conditions, and you roll for it. So if you can narratively think of how that would heal, not heal, but how that would sort of mitigate a twisted ankle.
Builds me a new leg. And we talk about it.
We talk about it. Yeah,
You
injured.
don't need that leg anymore.
Out of
Whack.
all the conditions, injured is the one that isn't really healed through like giving advice, but
But I was thinking if we could, because that's what Mel was looking around for, is like something that he could use to like brace his ankle and like tie around it. So, and Danny's like inclined to like build stuff, so maybe can help with that and take the lead on that. And I don't know if that would make sense or be enough to do the
maybe,
roll.
like, make a little bit of a split and then help. Because she's a little bit bigger than him, so she can help him move, like kind of
Yeah.
support him.
yeah, you guys are welcome to try.
Okay. All right, let's try this, I guess. So should I roll for what? Should I roll for sneaking, or for trying to fix? What should I be rolling for?
See. Let's do. I don't.
I mean, the trying to fix could just be just like flavor stuff, but
Yeah, at the same time, it's a very specific thing. I think that you're asking to do, so it makes sense that maybe it would be like well, Tinker's like machines and stuff.
Yeah, I guess the question is like, if we're trying to get rid of my condition or just help me with my sneak roll, because I know there's like the assist
That's up to
another
you.
kid function.
okay.
So
Maybe I'm just trying to help you for now. Not
okay,
100% getting
Okay.
rid of it.
since we don't really have the ability to like actually heal my ankle. And
Yeah, well, I'll say with
Yeah.
the lead move, I would say that like if you rolled well narratively, we could make that make sense in the form of like a splint or something like that. If you want to just sort of help him along, then I am gonna have you. You'll both have to roll to sneak.
Mhm.
Okay.
But you can sort of employ the helping each other mechanic. It's just that obviously, if Mel gets caught, you're both probably gonna get caught.
Okay. Yeah, let's try sneak then.
Okay.
Okay. This is body and sneak.
Oh,
All right. So that would be -1. All right, and then +1.
one
Okay.
success.
One success, one's kind of cocked, but I'll re-roll it. All right, one success.
Is that with your
Yeah, that's
your extra help?
I have 4 in body, and then I have 1 sneak, and then I took the 1 away,
and then
put
you
the
had
1 back.
-1 and then +1. Okay, so they mitigate
Yeah,
each other.
so
Okay,
I
so,
roll 5
one
dice.
success apiece.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so the two of you sort of waited out a little bit until you hear sort of the circling and the rustling of feathers fade away. You hear a couple of the birds sort of calling to each other, and you hear them sort of flying off in the distance. You sort of wait, and then Danny, being a little bit bigger, sort of helping Mel, the two of you quickly sort of scramble over quickly and quietly toward the door of the ship. It's got a sort of large metal handle on it, and you, Danny, sort of take it and turn it down and just push very, very quietly, and the door sort of creaks open. And inside you can see this like the metal interior of this magnetrine ship, and a set of like metal stairs going up.
Okay. Well, I guess we need to find some sort of like. Most planes have like a. Well, actually, were black boxes a thing in the like the 80s? Was that already a technology that they were using? Feels like it.
Oh.
I mean, this is a ship that keeps itself suspended by the power of
True.
magnets, so probably.
They have like a thing in the cockpit that records like flight data and stuff. Maybe we can find something there about why this ship is here and why birds hate it.
All right. Let's go find us a box.
All right. Search the ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alex says black boxes have been mandatory in commercial aircraft in the U.S. since 1967.
Perfect.
Thank you.
However, you guys did do some research on this ship.
Yeah, I guess this isn't a commercial aircraft.
Well, we have the thing. We haven't made it back to the library to do the research yet. We just
That's
know
what I
that
was-
we could.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask, because I didn't remember like how much information you guys have, but I don't think it's a lot. Other than it's
No, it's the magic magnet ship.
a magical magnet ship. Okay, so the two of you quietly make your way up the stairs. It's sort of inside this. It's relatively small. You make it up to this kind of metal catwalk-ish sort of hallway that's at the top, and down on one end you can see a door that sort of has painted across in these like large block like stencil letters, cargo. And then down the other side, there are a couple of doors to your right. One of them that looks to lead off into like some sort of closet or electrical room or something like that. And then one at the end of the hallway that has sort of a porthole window in it.
Should we look at the cargo room first, or just go straight to the cockpit?
I wonder what they were carrying. I mean, I feel like if it crashed, they'd want to get the cargo out, right?
Yeah. I mean, let's just see what it is, and it can't hurt to just look, right?
Yeah, we'll take a little peek. Opens
Okay.
door.
Peek the door.
Unless it's locked.
So it is not. So you sort of creep down the hallway, careful of your footsteps, especially you, Mel, since you're currently limping and using a. Do you still have the stick? Or using the stick to help?
Yeah,
you
I've got like
kind of relying on Danny.
well, no, I would have held on to it if I could, so I didn't have to like burden Danny like that.
Yeah, you have a stick. Barry's with you, I assume.
Yes.
He's being extra quiet, like a good doggo. So we're holding on to the stick. You watch as Danny sort of goes and again sort of pulls the large metal handle down and opens the door. Danny, on the other side of the door, you see this large metal room. There are sort of a couple of these porthole windows again on the sides, like a little bit of light is coming in. And essentially what you see is this large cargo bay that has been ransacked. There are lots of crates sort of everywhere that have been popped open, like lids and splintered planks kind of flung everywhere. A couple of crowbars that are just like laying on the floor sort of left. And then a lot of like almost like straw, kind of this like soft kind of packing material. It's kind of been like flung around as if like whatever was in the crates had just been all sort of hauled out and then scattered across the ground. There are a few sort of small pieces of it looks like rocks or like gravel.
Well, never was in here. Got.
Huh. Can I like inspect the boxes just to try to get an idea of what might have been inside of them?
Sure. Let's do I think investigate. Or
I would love to do an investigate roll.
yeah.
If
I
that's
always
an
have to
option.
remind myself the difference between investigate and comprehend. But yeah, go ahead and do investigate.
Okay, because I have 10 in investigate, so
Whoa.
I feel like I'm gonna succeed. Well, 9 right
so
now.
many.
So roll 2 batches. That's 1 success.
Okay.
That's 1 success.
Total.
Yeah.
Okay. So you succeed. So you get to ask 2 questions
Okay.
off the investigate list, or again, make some shit up.
Yeah, I mean, I think what has happened here and what does it mean are kind of the 2 questions that I'm looking for.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of push in behind Danny, sort of picking up a few things off the ground, looking at sort of the crowbar, the crates, the rocks that are scattered across. You get the impression that there's not really a like rhyme or reason to how everything was offloaded. Obviously, like the crates were not taken off; they were sort of ripped open. There's a lot of like splintered planks as if they were sort of like ripped open in a hurry, and the things and them were just like kind of hurriedly carried out. So when what was on the ship was offloaded, it was not in any sort of like order or probably official capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And then you can sort of go and like pick up some of these like pieces of rock, and most of it just looks like sort of this gray stone or something. But there is one piece that has I think you see like the that light coming in from these windows. You see this like glinting off of it, and you pick it up, and they're embedded in this this like apple-sized piece of rock is like this not quite silver, but sort of a shining sort of grayish in color like ore.
Huh. I will try to de-embed it from the... Can I pull it out, or is it, how big is it? This piece?
The sort of rock that you're holding onto is about the size of an apple. I would say that like sort of throughout there are these small kind of pebble-sized pieces. Like this rock was like chipped off from a larger piece and sort of
Mhm.
embedded throughout. There are just these like small kind of glinting pieces of some kind of ore. You're not going to be able to just. I mean, they're part of the rock. So
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
gonna
I
be
meant
able to
like,
just
can I
go with your
take the
hands and
rock
pull 'em out,
itself?
but-
Like,
Oh yeah, it's just laying there.
okay. And I assume this doesn't look like anything. Like, I can't immediately identify whatever this metal might be. Huh. Have you seen anything like this?
I don't think so. I mean, except in like science class or whatever.
Well, I guess we'll find out what it is then. Maybe this is what the birds want. And I'll take it and tuck it into my backpack that I'm sure I'm wearing.
Okay. Anything else?
Is there anything like, is there like any sort of like printed, like anything on the boxes themselves?
Like a
Okay, so like
shipping
labels.
destination, or yeah.
Yeah.
Not on the crates themselves. You do see sort of a series of letters and numbers printed on them. It is the same identification number that you saw before that is sort of linking them to this specific ship.
Okay.
No UPS label.
Darn. All right. Well, maybe there'll be more information somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe in the like kind of cockpit, like you said.
All right.
Okay. As you go to leave the cargo base or go to push the door open, I assume Danny probably taking the lead. But as you do, you sort of push on the door, and from the hallway where you were before, you hear footsteps.
There's someone coming.
Yeah. Maybe we should hide.
Yeah. Go to like hide in one of the boxes.
Just shove him in one.
Okay. Boy, yeah, I guess roll to sneak.
Sneak. Okay. I should just memorize how many dice this is. Let's see.
Yeah.
5. One
It's
success.
not gonna go as well. Nope.
Oh.
I'll push my luck. And re-roll.
Okay. You want to push or you want to send a luck point?
No, sorry. I'm gonna use a luck point.
Okay.
Okay. Because you said push and luck. And
Yeah.
use luck
I
on
think
it.
that's a
You can
mechanic.
re-roll.
Pushing your luck, I feel like, is a mechanic in a different game that I was.
I think
That's one success.
my brain wants to say masks, but I don't think that's right. This one for you.
Yeah. And
I got
I
one.
jump in with Barry into one of the crates.
Okay. You sort of like, Barry, go. And Barry, with the two of your helps, sort of hops over the side, and then you scramble
Open
into the
Shaggy.
Yeah.
crate. It is like Scooby and Shaggy. And you hear just briefly these heavy footsteps sort of across the metal, and the door of the cargo base or creek open, and someone sort of shuffling around very briefly, and then you hear the footsteps sort of start to walk away again, and the door shut behind them.
Okay.
They saw us. What could that be?
I don't know. Do we want to go find out?
I mean, kinda.
Just like creep out towards the door and like open it slightly just to peer out into the hallway.
Okay. Yeah, I think they're sort of far enough away at this point. You all, yeah, like Scooby Gang style, sort of 3 heads like lined up in the door, Barry on the bottom. Sort of look around the edge of the door, and you see walking away from you and sort of down the hallway, and then just briefly turning to open this this side door that was going into whatever sort of electrical closet is there. You see a man, and an older man, sort of like messy, like long brown hair, large glasses, wearing a dirty and torn, but white underneath lab coat, sort of fumbling with the door to the electrical closet, and then opening it, going in, and shutting the door behind him.
I assume nobody we recognized immediately.
No.
You said the electrical room?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. It looked like a scientist or something. Maybe someone from DART.
I mean, yeah. I didn't recognize him.
Dude, I don't know if I really want to like go confront an adult in this secret hidden crashed ship.
Yeah. Let's just go to the
Just-
cockpit, the other
Yeah,
different door.
yeah. Just go down the end. Okay. We sneak down the hall to the cockpit.
Okay. You creep down the hallway to the cockpit, the door with the window set into it. Quietly, just sort of opening the door, and inside you can see a lot of things. You see, first of all, just sort of stuff scattered everywhere, like tools and metal pieces and boxes and pieces of technology and buttons and flashing lights and sort of all kinds of things just like scattered around. There are also birds everywhere. There are sort of lighting along the like the consoles in the cockpit and the back of the pilot's chair. There are just these small robins and different birds. There are also on the floor feathers and all kinds of bird things everywhere, and you can also see sort of these small like little bones sort of scattered across one side of the cockpit.
I don't think we should.
These aren't the pilots.
We probably shouldn't stay in here for very long. I really hope. Or do they look like human bones?
They're like little bones.
Little
no,
bones.
a little tiny.
Just making sure.
Okay. Murder birds.
Maybe they were tiny little people. I don't know what DART
Maybe.
does.
We
Maybe
don't.
worse.
They make little tiny human people.
It's more efficient.
Fly the
let's
ships.
yeah. Save on fuel costs.
Oh boy.
We do.
Okay, so there's lots of birds. No people. Maybe we should just come back here later.
Is there anything like we can immediately see that might be useful to us, like a flight log?
You would have to sort
A
of go in and really look around. There is just so much stuff.
Does the pilot have a diary, or does the dead body of a pilot there with a diary in his hand?
There is not, but as you sort of look sort of up where the pilot's seat would be, you can see something like sitting in it, like not person, but
A bird.
metal. It's just big bird. this large metal contraption that it looks like is being built kind of in the center, like kind of bracing itself on the pilot seat with sort of these long, like almost like arms, like these long like metal pieces kind of sticking out of the side, and like bells and whistles and these like lights spinning on top. But yeah, there's just stuff everywhere.
I'm just gonna be real quick, and I want to try to like grab whatever's. I want to like rummage around in the seat, see if there's anything I want there.
Okay. I'm gonna
Okay.
be ready to smack a bird.
Okay.
They go for my friend.
You creep in, and the birds, and they're all very small. They're all like robins. Mostly they're just kind of sitting around. And I mean, they're, it's not quiet in here. Like they're birds. They make noise. They're sort of rustling around and pecking at things and squawking occasionally. Go ahead and roll to investigate.
Okay. Not a good start to that roll. Wow, nothing. Could I use my my pride here to reroll? Nothing
What is
scares me. Specifically, we are like in a situation like big murder birds flying around, pushing to go into this room to investigate, even though it might be dangerous.
Yeah, sure. I buy that.
Don't you just succeed when you check your pride?
Do you?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
pride is just an auto.
Yeah, I'm just
success.
gonna check my pride then.
You can just only do it once per session.
Yeah,
Almost like somebody read the rules of this game.
wasn't me.
It should have been. I spent all this time making everything else for you guys. Yes. So, you automatically gain 1 success. Thank you, Alex. So you can ask 2 questions.
Yeah, I want to know what is hidden here and where is it. And I could do what is hidden here, where is it, and where is it? just twice.
Where?
No.
Where?
Where? Where?
No, I think I'd go for what threats can I perceive here too. And not just like general, like, is there a bird in this room that might murder me, but like, we know the birds are attacking people. Something's got to be causing it. Like, what is there like an ongoing threat that we need to deal with?
Yeah. So you go. Sort of, Danny's holding on to your metal weapon. You see Mel sort of creeping ahead of you. Mel, you go and sort of poke around the center where this this sort of pilot seat is, where somebody is sort of building this machine out of it. Let's see. Where is it? Yeah, you find nearby, sort of on the console, sort of underneath a lot of stuff, some pieces of metal and a screwdriver and some things that are just sitting there. There's feathers sort of on top of everything. You see sort of the corner of a like leather bound, a thin sort of leather bound book that has a snap on the front that's like snapped shut. You can pull that out,
Yoink.
snap it open, sort of flip through it very quickly. It looks to be a journal of some kind.
Yeah, I probably will just go ahead and just take it with us and not spend a lot of time reading it. But yeah.
But you sort of snag that, and as you do, a few of the robins sort of like flutter down kind of onto the console, sitting and kind of hopping and looking at you. These you have seen this exact type of bird once before now. These are the ones, the same sort that were talking to you before. And a lot of them sort of, as they get close to this machine that is being built, you can hear as you're close to it, it is sort of, it's letting off this like faint kind of whining sound. And you can see these birds sort of hopping around, and they sort of look towards you, but they have a hard time focusing on you for any length of time. And anytime this machine sort of lets off this sound, all of their attention sort of snaps back to the machine in the center of the room.
And describe the machine again. Like, what is it?
It's, you don't know.
Okay.
It's this odd sort of mishmash of like a couple of consoles and a lot of like metal pieces. Is sort of this large like rectangular thing that has been sort of welded and screwed together. It's got some like tall or like long like rod-like pieces coming out of these sides, and then on top there's sort of these lights and this mechanism that is like spinning.
Just look at Danny. Like, do you know what that is?
No, but I mean, I can take a look at it.
Yeah.
I want to look at the weird machine.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll to calculate.
Oh,
To
Okay.
know how technical objects work and how to use them.
okay. I have not rolled this before. Let's see.
Yes,
Oh
it is.
gosh, there goes
calculate
all my
and-
dice. I'll get that one later. Okay.
That is calculate. That is a tech
Okay.
skill.
One success.
Okay. Then you get 2 questions off the list.
Okay. Let's do that.
So for anybody watching, they are questions such as: what is its purpose? How does it work? How can I use it? Who built it? What problems could it cause? Is it illegal?
I like that last one.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Is this illegal? Maybe how can I use it?
Okay.
And I mean, we kind of, I don't know. We kind of saw what it does, but I don't know if that's what its purpose is. So maybe that one as well.
Okay. What is its purpose? How can I use it? Yeah. So you take a look at this machine and the pieces that are sort of scattered around, and you see sort of amongst all of these things, you see a lot of small pieces and like little things that are being wired together, several like microchips that are sitting around with sort of wires coming out of them, and stuff like that. And I think you sort of notice, like looking at this and looking at the birds and how they're reacting to it, one of these little robins sort of flits down very close and sort of lands on one of the arms of the machine, and you can see on it, I think sort of on the side of this robin's head, just this very small sort of point where its feathers are all sort of splayed apart. And it almost looks like there is just like a small piece of this wire sort of attached to it. You get the impression that the birds that have been acting strangely have probably been messed with or had something done to them, and this machine is probably at the center of it. As far as how you can use it, it's hard to say without really sort of intimately knowing how it works, but it's probably the reason that all these birds are sort of congregating around the ship, especially based on like the fact that making this like sound, and that all these birds are paying it so much attention. There's probably some sort of control that it could potentially have over these birds.
Okay. Well, it looks like it's like might be controlling the bird somehow. I can't tell quite how it works, but
Is there? Should we try to turn it off?
I mean, I could try. I don't know how. Let me see. Is there an off button?
There is not. You don't. I think from your sort of cursory understanding, you don't. There's not like a big switch that would just flip it off. And there's so much going on that I think it is hard to tell like where the power is coming from.
I mean, I'm sure there's a way to turn it off. There's also a more violent way of doing that, but that might make the birds freak out.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we take what we've got and head back, meet up with the others. And if we need to come back, we know where this is now. So.
Yeah. All right. It's gonna check the door, make sure that person, Mr. Man, isn't walking the hallways again.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see or hear him, and that both of the doors, the cargo bay and that electrical closet, are still shut.
All right. I think it's our chance.
Sneak.
Sneak away.
Yep. Go ahead and roll a sneak one more time.
Okay. Oh, wow. That's 3 successes.
2 successes.
Well,
Wow.
heck, everybody. There they are.
So good.
If you want bonus effects for sneak, there's God damn it. There's
So-
one success to another kid, and there's you find something unexpected.
So
Oh, no.
I find one thing unexpected,
hate
and Danny
this.
finds two unexpected things.
Yeah, okay.
All right,
that
this is
what
the
you
rest of
guys
the
want?
session, everyone.
Freaking, what could be
Whee!
more unexpected?
We find $3.
You find $3.
Yes!
Let's see. You got a journal.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to grab that journal.
Okay, here we go.
Huh?
You, as the two of you are sort of sneaking out, you spot, I don't know, one of you. This is all 3 of them wrapped up into one thing. Here we go. One of you spots sort of wedged between. There's like this one sort of console that is near the door, and wedged between like something has sort of fallen down behind it, the door, or the the wall right next to the door and the console. You see this like a dark piece of like leather sort of sticking out. You sort of reach down and pull it out, and there is a wallet that's sort of fallen behind the console. You open it up, and there's $3 in it, and a couple of other things. You find a driver's license and an ID card stuck down inside. They both have the same name on them and a photo of a sort of older, middle-aged man with sort of long brown hair and large glasses, wearing a white lab coat, much more pristine than when you saw it before, with a name on it, both on the driver's license and on this ID badge, which at the top reads DART. A man by the name of Michael Dixon.
Does kind of look like that guy to you?
Might be. We can maybe look them up in the phone book, see if they live in town.
His address is on his driver's license.
Oh, it's on. Oh, well, that's true. Sorry, I thought it was just the Dart ID, which I figured did not have his address on
Oh,
it.
sorry.
Um,
No, his driver's license does. And he's local.
Yeah, let's go. We can maybe look them up and see if they know what's going on.
Okay, but do we like leave this here? Do we like give it back to him?
We'll bring it back to him. That would be the nice thing to do. I'm sure he lost it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's give it back to him.
Okay, so you make your
Sneak,
way out
sneak.
of
Proceed.
the Magnetrine ship and to someone who perhaps has a map of the town where you can look up this address and sort of head on your bikes over to Michael Dixon's house. We are gonna go to Axel and Mike. So you have just been let into the home of the girl on bike who was sort of out in the middle of the woods on a bike with binoculars, sort of looking at this large bird's nest that you then followed to this home, sort of out off the beaten path, sort of at the end of a dirt road. Notes. So yeah, she I don't remember if I ever said what she looked like. Well, she would introduce herself to you. Her name is Stacy, and she has like brown hair that she keeps pulled back in a ponytail, sort of pale skin, freckles across her nose, and then one distinguishing feature that you would notice right away is that she has kind of, when she's pulled her hair back and kind of gotten it out of the way, this long like cut that is kind of running from like the outside of her eye kind of down the side of her face. It looks relatively fresh, and she has decided that you're okay. She'll let you in. She lets you into this home that you have followed her to, and while it looks lived in, it is messy. There are sort of across the table, sort of like, food wrappers and everything, and then on sort of one side of this living room, on the couch, there is this large, a little bit overweight golden retriever, with a red collar around his neck, and one he's sort of laying there taking a nap, and then one front leg that sort of around the knee has like a bandage wrapped around it. So she lets you in. What would you like to do?
Why were you looking at the birds? Straight to the point.
Are you kidding me? You've seen how those things have been acting around town.
Alright, I just got back today.
Well, but you've been back for a day, and one spoke to you, and we saw all that. But I guess maybe a better question is, what are you doing out here? And do you have a purpose to watching the birds other than just birds are being weird?
Well, somebody's got to figure out what's going on. And I'm out here because I live here. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Okay,
don't figure out what's going on. We could just let nature do its course, and
I don't think this is nature. I think someone nurtured these birds to be like this.
No, nature's course did this to my face, so.
And did they also do that to your dog?
No, that was something else entirely. But, oh, that's old Champ. He's friendly. Don't worry.
What have you figured out about the birds so far?
Well, weird stuff. This is my uncle's house. He hasn't lived here in a little bit, so he doesn't technically know that I'm staying here right now. But he's a scientist. And he knows a lot about birds and animals and things like that. So I've been going through his stuff. I don't know. I think he might have something to do with it.
Does he work at DART?
He did for a while. Not anymore.
Sounds like there's a story there, but that's up to you if you want to share it.
Well, it's not any of my business. You'd have to ask Charlie about that, but she's not in town anymore.
And who's Charlie?
Charlie, Dr. Charlene. Here, I'll show you. He's got pictures of her everywhere. And she kind of leads you into like the main living room area, and the all along the walls there are all of these photos of like famous scientists and researchers of history and things like that. And somewhere sort of in the middle of all that framed, there is a photo of a middle-aged woman. She has it looks like a professional photo. It's a curly blonde hair, bright green eyes, this sort of proud smile, wearing this white lab coat, and the nameplate on the bottom of the frame reads Dr. Charlene Mason. Axel, you sort of, I think before, did not recognize the name Charlie, but you recognize the photo of this woman as a old colleague, not so much anymore, of your mom's, who a couple of years ago probably came over for dinner a couple of times, but you haven't seen her in a while.
Oh, you mean Aunt Charlie? Yeah, I haven't seen her in a minute, but yeah, okay. And my mom used to work with her.
Really? Who knows where she got off to, but
Try asking my mom when I get back later today.
But yeah, she left DART, and Uncle Michael left DART, and I don't know where they've been, but he's got some weird stuff around here.
Is any of it visible? Weird stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff sort of sitting around. There are, like, on one of the tables, there's just like there's papers strewn everywhere. There's like small tools and kind of pieces of metal. And then along this one wall, sort of next to this photo, this like professional photo of Dr. Mason, there are all of these like printed out actual photographs that have been hung up on the wall, and you can kind of look through them. The room is pretty much covered in photos of this woman, Dr. Charlene Mason, and in a lot of them you can see, though they're not really like posing together in any of the photos. Some of them are group photos, and then some of them are photos of her with like him kind of off to the side or in the background. There are a lot of photos of Axel, this doctor that you recognize, and then this man with sort of long brown hair, large glasses, all over the place, and then a lot of notes sort of strewn around, a lot of like sort of half finished little pieces of metal, things that somebody looked like they were building, strewn around the house.
Anything that looks like you shouldn't touch?
Anything that looks vaguely like a microchip, probably, but
So
Right,
nothing
you don't
with
know.
buttons.
nothing with
Okay.
buttons.
Well, this seems like an awful lot of stuff. Have you learned anything from it yet?
Well, I'm still sort of trying to parse through it, but there's. I mean, it's a lot of stuff about birds, and I don't know. I think maybe they were doing something to them, but I don't know why. I mean, you're welcome to look at it.
I mean, yeah, I'd be happy to help you out, give you a hand, and we've also got another friend who's got a bit more of a brain for this sort of thing. But I mean, yeah, if you got something, I'd love to try and figure out this puzzle with you.
Okay.
Yeah, how old is she? I don't think we've said.
She's about 15.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, and Mike's not picking up on any of this awkwardness because he has a 0 to that stuff. So you're part of this bird watching group thing. Isn't there a group that was mentioned? Some school group I'm joining now.
Oh yeah, I mean my older sister, who's about your age, is part of the what's it called? The Wildlife Club. Do you know anything about that?
I mean, beats me. I'm not from Fountain City.
Mixed two of us.
Okay, well,
There is that. I mean, that bird guy that lives here, though.
Your
there's a
uncle.
bird guy. We have a bird guy.
You have a bird guy?
Yeah, you know, the guy from National Geographic fell off the map, moved here a few years ago.
No.
Would Axel be aware of this guy? Because Alex isn't.
I don't know. I think you
Should
have
I try
a.
and roll contact? to
Yeah,
see if
let's just do that.
know of this guy.
That's more fun.
That is one success.
Okay. Yeah, you know the right person, and I think have the ability to get a hold of them. So yeah, I think you you remember just very vaguely sort of one conversation, probably because there aren't that many of them, sort of when everybody in your family is sort of home for breakfast or dinner or anything like that. So one like family meal, your mom mentioning that a heck, I totally lost the word. An ornithologist.
Ornithologist?
Yep, I knew it was in there somewhere. And an ornithologist a couple of years ago that nobody had heard from in a long time moved into town. His name is Dr. Lawrence, and he, your mom was like shocked that he would come to Fountain City of all places, because he used to have a television show. And work for National Geographic and all of that. Something happened to him. You don't know what. The show was canceled, and he sort of fell off the face of the earth a little bit, and then up and bought a house on the outskirts of Fountain City. Nobody goes there. Nobody talks to him. He's sort of a shut-in. But yeah, there's a Birdman.
Would there be a chance of some of his television shows being put onto VHS?
That's probably the kind of thing we would have had to think to videotape ourselves at the time.
Yeah, I mean, if you think one of your parents may have like recorded it.
Because I don't think Blockbuster's in the business of stalking National Geographic.
I know they started releasing VHSs in '86 in our world, but in this world, when creepy shit happens.
Maybe. You could try to find something.
Okay, well, yeah, Now that you mention it, there was that one guy who moved here a couple years ago, but he's been here a couple years, and the birds only just started acting up. I mean, he might know something, but I don't think he has anything to do with it.
Stacy's uncle left Dart lately, right? Recently.
Yeah.
And didn't the crazy lady who tried brainwashing everyone work at Dart?
I mean, yeah, Mrs.
I have a
Fraser
feeling.
does work there, but I mean, my mom also works there, and she's not weird.
You sure about that?
I'll be the judge of that, buddy.
You trying to say something about my mama?
Oh, just saying, weird stuff seems to happen.
Well, get used to it. Welcome to Fountain City.
Probably be moving soon.
Anyway, I got some of his notes sort of stacked up over here that y'all can take a look at. I mean,
Take a
You
look
try
at
to talk
here,
to
or
the,
take a look at this away from here.
I mean, we can look at him here. I mean, yeah, the others aren't gonna know where we are. I mean, do you maybe want to go see if you can find him and bring him here, or?
We can give it a shot. Are you gonna be safe here alone with Stacey, actually?
I should be. I mean, she doesn't seem that
She
That
has
weird?
a scar.
she has a what? I didn't hear
A
you.
scar. She's
Yeah, people have scars. People get rough and tumble out here.
She was
it's
Pounding
not a
on the
scar, it's a
birds.
fresh wound, and she told you where it came from.
She said nature did it, okay? Now, nature could be the nickname of someone in this place. I don't know. Big villain. They have weird names.
I'm right here.
You'll have to forgive him. He's not got the most tact.
Look, this is all a dream. I'm gonna wake up soon and none of this is gonna happen. So,
Well, you're in for a rude awakening then, cause you're awake, buddy. Like you said, weird stuff happens around here. This
Just
ain't a
yeah.
dream.
birds can't talk, okay? It's a dream. Do you have any bird seed? Do we know where the others went?
We knew they were heading towards the lake, I think.
Right.
The lake's pretty big.
Yeah, I got some seed laying around.
Could I please borrow some? Well, I'm not really returning it. Can I have some? There's probably more.
I'll get you a bag.
Yes.
Yeah, she'll bring you a sort of small burlap bag full of bird seed.
Go keeping a promise to my followers. I think I'm a god among birds, it seems.
Oh,
You
your
got
bird followers. I was like,
Some
kids
kind
out
of
here.
cult or something.
They love me.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
sure they do, pal.
we were up
They-
in the.
Talk to me and
His followers on Twitter.
well, they do tweet a lot. So what part of nature attacked you?
A red-tailed hawk.
Whereabouts? Where you when it went bam.
Oh, about 50 yards or so out of the house, out back.
And we haven't been out back, have we? Is there a window we can look out back? Hold on.
Sure.
Okay, 45 meters. Got it. I was going distance yards to meters, so I know I'm like, is this
Yards
like
are a little
super
bigger.
far out?
Yards are just a little bit bigger. Yeah, you can sort of look out one of the back windows around the kitchen. That's back there. It's more woods.
Is there a big bird flying around?
There are lots of birds flying around.
Is there the one that attacked our Axel's new potential girlfriend out back?
It's hard to say. There are lots of birds sort of sitting out, kind of in the trees and everything. And then overhead, there are a few larger birds sort of circling, perching in the top of the trees. But a lot going on.
I'm gonna look at Axel and be like, do you think these ones talk as well?
I mean, we haven't been able to interrogate every single bird, but
I haven't tried, have I?
it's something we could try. Have you heard any of the birds talking yet?
Oh.
Slash, have you talked to them?
Yeah, the robins. From what I can tell, they're the only ones that got the power of speech. Pretty much all the other ones turn mean.
Apparently the big birds are mean, the little birds are cool.
Yeah, we saw some woodpeckers, and I guess we didn't hear any of them talking, but they also didn't, try and peck our eyes out or anything.
They seem like they're following the robins around, from what I can tell. Now, y'all ain't encountered those wood ducks, have you?
Like
Not
they're
yet.
ducks.
Watch out for them.
Are they like gangster ducks? Watch out
No.
now.
Did you know ducks have teeth?
Is there something I can roll just to see if, because I'm like from Australia and I know dangerous animals, okay?
Sure. We'll roll to, I'll say comprehend.
Oh, that is. If this works, I am amazing. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't know.
You
had
know,
one dice.
Yeah, like I
You-
said, I don't know this stuff.
you know of Australian wood ducks, but they're
They taste good.
pretty small, relatively harmless. You don't think they have teeth? American wood ducks, though, no clue.
Okay. Do you have a bat or something I can protect myself?
Like a baseball bat, or
Yes, that's a thing in this country.
Yeah, we don't got cricket bats just lying around here.
baseball bats make more of an impact anyway. Cricket bats got that flat side.
Okay.
I spend a lot of
you-
time alone.
So is that a yes? Do you have one?
I mean, I'm sure Uncle Mike's probably got something upstairs you can take. I ain't cleaned out a lot of the house yet, but most of it's fair game if you want to look around.
Cool. I'll leave Axel and Stacy together.
Okay.
I will go rummage through the rest of the house, look for a bat and anything which looks cool.
Okay. I'm gonna have you roll to investigate. Axel, you're gonna go through these notes and things.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you roll to do something.
What are the chances of me succeeding with a 1 die roll?
It seems like
1
pretty
in 6.
low. You can just also roll to investigate. It's the easiest thing.
Okay.
I'll use one of my luck points.
Yeah, we'll also use a luck
0
point.
and 0. Okay.
Yes! I got
Oh.
one!
Mike got one.
With a 1.
And I also got
Ah.
1.
Okay.
That's amazing.
GG. So yeah, that's one success for each of you. So Mike, you go upstairs, sort of rummaging around. So that's 2 questions off the list for each of you.
Mhm.
Okay, I guess I'm probably gonna kind of ask 2 of the what is hidden here and where is it?
Okay.
Oh no, 1 what is hidden here and where is it, which is like any extra stuff I wanted to try and find, which could be in relation to birds,
Sure.
and the where is it for the baseball bat?
Okay. Yeah, upstairs, in it was like one of the bedrooms was just sort of turned into kind of a catch-all junk room where a lot of things are just laying around. You can sort of like rummage through, and then in one corner, sort of tucked behind everything, you pull out this old wooden baseball bat that it seems like it was sitting here for a while, kind of buried under a lot of other things. You can have that. And then you just continue kind of rummaging around up top. You do find a sort of tucked away in one of the closets a box of VHS tapes. And you sort of look through, and you do find 2 or 3 that are just sort of on the side labeled Nat Geo.
Intentionally steal those ones.
Okay, you take
Or
them.
borrow. I'm intending to return them eventually.
Sure. Yeah. You take your treasures. Axel.
So I think the first question I'm going to ask is, what does it mean?
What does it mean? Yeah, you could go through a lot of these notes and everything. There are a lot of drawings, a lot of diagrams, some of these like microchips and different little like combinations of this machinery, and some of them of birds. You get the impression that the microchips were for the birds. There are also a couple of just like vague sketches and drawings of this sort of large machine, this sort of large rectangular like metal center, these long rods sticking out of the side, and some sort of mechanism on top. They're all connected. The machine sort of influencing the microchips that were then implanted in the birds. I don't know that you know how, but if this dang machine exists somewhere out there, it's probably doing something to the birds, who now have microchips in their brains.
Trying to figure out which of these questions would be the most useful. Maybe, is there anything that's more detailed about the machine other than just like vague drawings of it? And he didn't happen to leave an instruction manual behind for it.
No instruction manual. There are some drawings, some sketches. There are some notes on the side. I think you can tell that this whatever this like mechanism is that is on top of the machine is putting out some kind of signal that is transmitting to the microchips. I don't know that you know exactly what it's doing, but there are several sketches of several different kinds of birds. So not just these robins, and you are sort of working on this information that the birds are reacting to whatever has happened to them in very different ways. So it's hard to say, but I think you can tell sort of from this cursory scan that you're doing that whatever the machine is doing to the birds is not the same across all of them, and they're reacting differently for some reason.
Okay. Well, this does seem like something that someone out of Dart would make. I mean, seems like just the kind of side project someone makes when they're bored over there.
This is what y'all do when you're bored. Put microchips in birds?
Yeah, the people in Dart. I mean, someone's got to go around and change the batteries in the birds. That's a joke.
I hope so.
At least I think it is. Haven't actually seen any batteries in birds.
I'm starting to think I should have stayed in Birmingham.
What did bring you to Fountain City?
You know, family stuff.
Ah, yes. Family stuff.
I just came to stay with my Uncle Michael for a while. Not that he knows I'm here, but hey, he ain't using it, so
You been doing okay so far?
me and Champ get along fine.
I would like to enter at the most awkward moment possible.
Okay.
I mean, that's basically any moment. This is a 12-year-old trying to be smooth with a 15-year-old.
I think you hear like footsteps coming down the stairs as Mike is coming back, but she's like, "Yeah, we get along fine. I mean, I've always got along fine, so."
But is there any pictures of Stacy in this household at all?
I think there's a couple. There's most of these like sort of odd pictures with.
As long as there's one, I just want to make sure that this person actually knows who lived in this house because
Yeah, there's a couple. I think there's a couple of like family photos where you see Stacy, again this man with sort of the long brown hair and large glasses, with some other people that look vaguely like them. So
so
yeah,
Stacy's mum.
she's in there somewhere. She's okay.
Okay, just making sure.
So, found what you need?
Swing the baseball bat around. Careful not to hit anything.
Good. Well, I'm gonna keep looking through all this stuff. I'm sure there's more stuff hidden
Yeah.
around the house somewhere.
What is the time of day? It's afternoon, right?
Yes, it's like early afternoon.
And school's apparently tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what American schools are like, but is there a lot of homework and shit in the afternoon? What time does it normally finish?
3 o'clock is a typical end of school day.
I'm assuming Stacy's not going to school.
No.
Do you mind if we bring people around tomorrow afternoon to research birds?
Yeah, like I said, we got a couple more friends who might have a better head for this sort of thing. And they've been off checking some of the, some other stuff in the woods that the birds might be involved in.
Have you got the papers on top of the machine image thing? Like
Yeah.
open to that?
I think probably has those, because those were the ones we were looking at and trying to figure out. So
Because to be honest, the two people not here, one's probably good at researching through all this, and the other one could probably work out that machine.
No,
We,
I
on
mean,
the
I
other
don't-
hand, not that good.
I don't really know that I want a whole bunch of people running around here. I mean, y'all seem okay, but I mean, like I said, Michael doesn't know I'm here, and
I'm Michael, and I know you're here. So technically, a Michael knows you're here. So it works. Us Michaels stick together.
going to have you roll for charm to see if that argument takes. Jesus.
4 successes.
this is what he does.
So you get 3 bonus effects. God.
I want them to keep believing me. I want to have formed a lasting relationship just to
Okay.
rub it into Axel.
Yeah,
And
put Stacy on your dang sheet.
if I was older than 12, I would take their infatuated. But let's just have them take risks to help me.
Okay. Yeah, I think you say this and you talk about it a little bit more and mention your friends that are actually good at this stuff and
Look, they're nerdy. They're not gonna cause trouble. Like,
I guess
my
if you're
cousin
sure.
is like a geek. He's like comic books, superheroes. But he's getting cooler slowly. I'm working on it.
Well, what I need right now is not cool, it's smart. So I mean, if you got some friends you think
Yeah,
could help.
both. Well, yeah, well, I've got the cool covered.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, I guess. Bring them around.
Done. Is there a TV in this household? Like a number of VCRs or somewhere I can look up. Do they have a VCR?
Yeah, I think we got one upstairs.
I'll see if I can find some videos that can help with birds.
Okay.
I'll just get the movie Birds and we can just watch that and learn how they survived.
Well, I'll keep going through this. I guess I'll see y'all tomorrow.
I'll bring sandwiches. Yes.
Great. Okay. Anything else before you leave?
Just pat Champ on the head. And I'll bring him a treat tomorrow.
All right.
I'll just steal something from Mel's place. Or
Okay.
Are Barry and Champ gonna get along?
We're gonna find out.
best buds.
Of course they are. Please, not a monster. So you get ready to take the things that you have found and leave. Mel and Danny, your next course of action was to find the address on this driver's license.
Just yeah, like head back into town, find our friends, and track down this Michael person.
Okay. So you all sort of head back, I assume, to your hideout
Yes.
to meet up, unless you want to meet somewhere else. I don't remember if you said you were going to meet somewhere else.
Oh, I think we said probably the hideout.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was hideout or
wait,
library.
I think we said the library. Yeah.
Do you? We can say the library.
So-
It's closer to where you are right now, anyway. So
We'll go to the library.
okay. So you all meet up in the parking lot of the Fountain City Public Library on your bikes with your things in tow. That's where we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us so far on this bird watching excursion. Hope you're having a good time. We will be back shortly after a quick break, so stick around and see what happens next. And welcome back, Internet. Thank you for hanging out with us while we took a break. We are back and better than ever, and a bunch of bird brains. We're gonna pick back up right where we left off. I don't know why you guys let me talk, really. On the internet, but here we are. That's out there forever now. Let us return. So the four of you meet back up at the library. The Fountain City Public Library, which is down sort of north of the lake, east of town, on the side where the high school and the athletic complex and all of that are. It's sort of up the road from the school that you all will be attending for the first time tomorrow. But more pressing matters right now. There are ridiculous talking birds in Fountain City. So while you are at the library, you can catch each other up on what happened. Is there anything specifically you guys want to talk about?
Who got there first?
I don't know. I'm gonna say Axel and Mike. Probably it took you less time to sort of accomplish what you were trying to accomplish. So the two of you, I think, are sort of waiting around for Mel and Danny for a little bit.
Mike would have a book on American wood ducks, and he would exclaim quite loudly, loud enough to be shushed, that they don't have teeth.
They do not have teeth. Yeah, you sort of look up wood ducks. They don't have teeth. They just have those little nubs things. And you would know, being from Australia, that they're very different from Australian wood ducks in many ways.
Australian wood ducks are cool and they don't get mind controlled.
Know that?
Yeah, I've only seen Americans mind controlled while I've been here.
I mean, maybe the Australian dart, which I guess that would be Trevud. Maybe they're brainwashing the birds over there. Well, you're
We tried.
In Australia, it's dart, just the letters are all upside down.
So the D doesn't change at all.
No.
I hate you guys so much.
Yeah, in terms of things that we want to talk about, I mean, I imagine once we both mention that there is an Uncle Mike, a Dr. Mike, and we are probably
Describe
able to
him.
piece
Mhm.
together that it's the same person.
Yeah, so you guys, Danny and Mel, have seen this guy, and you have his picture obviously on his ID cards and everything. This is the same guy from all the creepy pictures in the house.
Okay, so we've got Stacy staying at our Uncle Mike's place, which is different from the address you have for him? Question mark, GM?
It's the
Yeah.
same.
Okay.
Okay, well, we know where that is, and can take you there and to meet Stacy. She's very nice, and she's got lots of notes about what her uncle's been up to.
All right.
I said
What?
we'd be back tomorrow afternoon, though.
Like after school?
Yeah.
All right. How can
Unless
she
we
be
skip
staying at his
school.
house and they not know? Like,
I guess he's
he
not staying there?
Oh, yeah. If you don't go somewhere, do you know who's staying there?
I guess.
Do we think that might be the same guy we saw in the lab coat? Like, I don't just want to assume there's only one
Sounds like
person
it.
running around with a lab coat in this town, but
Yeah, but how many people are those people could be named Mike?
Barry, be quiet.
Sorry, got an itch. I
Barry's
mean,
over-
woof.
Are you guys inside the library currently? Because you can't take Barry inside the library.
We're probably outside talking. 'Cause we
Barry's
get
over
yelled
digging.
at for talking.
Barry's digging a hole in a flower bed.
So, but didn't you say there was an ID card in the wallet which had the address? Say, does the ID card match the person you saw?
I mean, it looks like we only saw him for a second.
Well, there's
Kind of
a
dark in there.
high probability that it is the same person. But no, we got permission to go back because I said on Mike knows. So I don't think she's the brightest person.
Yeah. But
And she got
older
attacked
than
by a
us.
bird.
yeah, swoop down and like almost got us.
Oh, you
Well,
too.
swooped
I was
again.
saying Stacy got attacked. So she got a big scratch, which is going to be a scar going from like her ear to her other ear. I'm going to exaggerate this so much. Just still
It's like gnarly scar.
I want to have you roll to lie.
That's a
Ooh.
charm.
I think so. Yep. It's literally the only roll I ever have you make.
2 successes, and I'm impressing Mel
Oh my goodness.
about how vivid this is.
Yeah, Mel, in your mind, I think she like looks like the Joker. Just like ear to ear, like attacked by a bird and survived.
So you're lucky when you got attacked. You could have ended up looking all gruesome and deformed. No, instead of
Okay.
impressing, can I frighten him?
Now my pride is nothing scares me.
You've already
how
checked
does-
that
scary.
today, buddy. You've already
So
checked that today.
if I've
So
checked my
why?
pride, then that means that I can just be scared for the rest of the.
No, it still applies as sort of like a character trait. You can just only use it to succeed on a roll once per session. So.
Okay.
Frightened's a little bit different than scared, okay?
Oh, okay. How?
It's a more extreme version, like disliking and hating. They're different. People think they're the same, but they're different.
Okay. I'm impressed by his ability to describe this person. I am dubious at how accurate this is.
Perfect.
The mental image is a little scary.
And there's another dog called Chat. He's injured. We didn't find out how. Apparently that story was too long. And we found out Axel's
about
mother
birds?
knows one of the people who went missing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was another doctor that Uncle Michael seemed to be. I almost want to say obsessed about. I mean, it seemed like they were colleagues at one point, but anyway, my mom used to work with this Dr. Charlene, at one point, and she came over for dinner once a few years ago, but so she might know something, but I don't know what she would say if she thinks I'm starting to ask these really pointed questions about her work with Dart. I know she kind of has to be hush hush about it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So what are we doing anyways?
We wanted to come here and look and see if there were any logs on that ship that you all found.
Oh yeah.
Or the other thing apparently is very evil ducks around as well.
I've got this journal now or something. This book. I'll open that up.
Yeah, and you found that weird rock too.
Yeah, and this rock. So maybe we can focus trying to do some research to figure out what this metal is in the what the substance is, and
That's
also
look
kind of
fragile.
go through this book and see if there's anything interesting or important in it.
Mel, does the rock look fragile? Do you think I could break it open? Or do you want to be careful?
I think we should figure out what it is before we try to break it.
What happens if in the center of it it's got its name engraved on it?
Well, you know what? If we can't
Like
figure out,
made in China. Like
If-
if we just in there.
we're gonna have to.
Size.
We're gonna go to the geology section of this library, and so you can figure out how rocks are made.
Well, look, I learned birds couldn't talk, and then apparently they're talking. So maybe there is stuff you don't know.
Maybe. Well, if we can't figure out what it is, I will let you do the honors of breaking it open.
Yes. Is there like a video room in the library where we can play tapes?
Sure.
Score. I'm gonna pull out the 3 tapes I borrowed with the intent of potentially not return. And be like, there's a crazy bird dude from Nat Geo living around this area, and here's potentially some tapes from, well, they're Nat Geo tapes. And Crazy Mike liked birds, so logically, it could be Bird Geo dude.
Yes. Before you looking something up, Danny, do you want to figure out this rock, or do you want to look into the magnetron shit?
I mean, I'm not real good with either, but
We can work together, maybe.
yeah, let's do that.
Just because it's not us spamming the works. We're like, oh, Danny, do you want to come watch these videos on the VCR with us? And let these two do their research.
I'm gonna help Axel out.
Okay, I get it. If we need to turn the machine off, does breaking it work generally? Just a question I'm just gonna ask casually as I'm walking off.
You know those are public VCRs. You can't just smash them when you're done with them.
I'm not talking about these. I'm talking about the ones with potentially mind controlling the birds. And
I
that's just
mean-
something left for you to think about as I walk up.
I mean, Danny, your understanding of most machines is that, like, yeah, if you hit part of it hard
Yeah.
enough, it'll probably stop.
Yeah. Smack it real good.
All right. Everyone's doing something. I'm going in the order you are all in my call right now. So, Mel,
Okay.
what you looking for?
I think well, it might be better to powwow with the others and figure out. So the two of you are researching the ship? No,
Yeah, the ship.
what? The ship? Okay.
Yeah, the ship.
The
Yeah.
ship and see if we can figure out what the mineral you found is. The
Well,
rock
that's probably
thing.
what Mel should be doing.
Yeah.
I thought Mel was gonna look at the journal.
I assume
I
the
forgot there was a
journal's-
journal.
I assume the
There's
journal's
so
just
many
me
things.
reading the journal, so I don't know if I have to do a roll for that or if it's just going to be
No,
informational.
you can just read
Okay.
through it, yeah.
Then I will research the rock.
Okay, so the ship, the rock, and the videos. Okay, then we'll start with Mel. So Mel, you flip through this this journal. It's not long. You can sort of skim parts of it. It's sort of I mean, it's sort of disjointed. I mean, it's just somebody this Michael person just sort of scribbling down kind of thoughts as he has them. Some of the entries are older. They go back about 6 months or
Mhm.
so in this journal that you have. He talks a little bit about his work at Dart, sort of from his perspective. He, from what you can tell, is some sort of biologist. It seems like he knows a lot about birds. He knows a lot about how their brains work. He mentions sort of like neurology at one point, and you know what that word means. He knows a lot about bird brains. He also talks a lot about a person named Charlie, who he says, and you probably skim over some of this part, is like the most beautiful woman that he knows, and she's a brilliant scientist, and she's gonna win the Nobel Prize one day. And you're like, ew, 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 because you're 12, probably. Well, I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna tell you what Mel does.
Mel doesn't understand the whole
Ugh,
Mel doesn't
boring.
understand why Axel's always talking about girls, so no.
Like, no. You sort of get to a point where the journal kind of is just mostly talking about Charlie. He talks about Dart a little bit. He talks about how like nobody understands her, nobody understands Charlie, and she's brilliant in her work, and how they just like they treat her so poorly and they're so mean to her, and he was so sad when she finally had to leave Dart because of this. And then finally, sort of the last bit is these just a couple of like short entries, much more sort of happy and joyous than the rest. That Charlie has asked him to work on her new project at what you can assume is some sort of like location or something, but you recognize the location because it's a set of letters and numbers that read IEX-4Z32, the same as the magnetrine ship that you found, and the journal sort of ends there.
Okay, but it seems like the bird stuff was his project, or her project.
You get the impression that he knows a lot about birds and how their brains work, but that she sort of invited him after she had to leave Dart to work on a new project at IEX-4Z32.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay. I take note of what I need to for that, and then I'll start researching what this metal might be.
okay. I'm gonna have you roll for rocks.
Okay.
Yeah, for rolling for rock, that should be Axel's job.
I'm gonna
Boo.
say for library rolls, we're gonna do comprehend.
Comprehend. That's what I figured. It's not my best ability. I'm just gonna roll the dice and roll 20 because the dice in real life aren't treating me much better. 2 successes.
Okay. So the game master will give you the information or ask you to come up with something on your own. I'll give you the information, and there's only one bonus effect. You get additional information and +1 bonus die if you use the information. So, you were sort of looking for any kind of information on this rock that you found. It takes a little bit of searching, but what you find is sort of a it's less a science book and more a sort of historical log of like the discovery of like a lot of different types of essentially what you're looking at is a lot of different types of ore, sort of raw materials and things like that. And you find in this book one picture that looks very similar to this ore that you have found kind of set into this rock. It's similar. It's almost like a silver vein, but it's got some sort of like dark kind of lines running through it. It is as of right now, an unnamed ore. It was discovered in like 1968, and before it could be named or anything like that, there's not a whole lot of information that you find, but you get the impression that the government sort of got a hold of it, sort of put out a sort of very general statement that it had a lot of wonderful potential in the realms of scientific research and energy production, and very, very quickly sort of took over any kind of mining of it, finding of it, information about it, and you don't find much after that. This lasted for 6 months to a year, and then you never heard about it again. And it was never named.
Hmm. Anything like about its properties or anything like that?
There's not a whole lot of information. What you do, I think, find the most interesting is this claim of it being important to energy production. That sort of it was this a little bit of like new wave thought for a while that it could be used somehow to produce power.
Okay. So it's like conductive or like generate electricity.
Like generating electricity.
Okay. Interesting. Does it look like because we saw the wiring on like the birds stuck into their heads and stuff. I don't know if I saw it close enough. I know Danny
Danny did.
did. I don't know if I saw it close enough to be able to identify like does
Oh,
it
no, you
look
did because you went right up to the machine. So
okay.
Yeah.
Does it look similar, like the color and stuff? I mean, I assume it had to be like refined, but or did it look like the wiring stuff was just like copper wiring or something?
I think not on the birds, but probably some of the these like bits and pieces that were attached to the machine in the center. I think the coloring is similar.
Okay. Okay. I will see what the others find, and then I'll relay that information to them.
Okay. Let's go to Mike. So Mike, you're gonna watch these videos.
Yeah, if I remember VCRs correctly, I believe you could potentially watch it slightly faster than normal, but not completely fast forwarding and you can't hear it. It's like 2 times speed. So they have the fancy one. No, it's a public library, so maybe not.
Well, this is my fantasy world, and now I have to grapple with how well-funded public libraries are.
How well funded is this public library?
In a small town in Alabama in 1985. I'm gonna say very. Donate to your
Good.
libraries because they might help you solve mysteries about killer birds. Yeah, they have a couple of really nice VCRs.
Cool. Not the nicest I've seen, but it'll do. I
Alright.
have nicer at home, Danny. Don't give me that book.
So what are you looking for?
One, I want to see if this is Bird Dude. And then Mike doesn't really know. He's just gonna see if there's anything interesting which happens. Maybe there's Robin that talks. Who knows? If there's any segments based on the birds we've seen so far, he'll probably stop and watch that to see if there's any weaknesses the large birds have, like if you throw a firecracker in one direction, it'll disorientate you.
Okay.
I have no idea.
Okay, don't throw
What?
firecrackers at birds. You pop in these videos and sort of speed through them at a slightly faster speed. They are recordings of an old National Geographic program. Boy, I didn't name this TV show, and I
Bird is the word.
did think about asking you guys if you had an idea. And you're the one watching it, so is that lock in your final answers now? Is that what you want to call it?
Has the show Wings come out yet? Can we steal that?
It was Wings.
Wings.
1990.
No, Wings hasn't happened yet.
Cool, we're stealing that show, man.
Okay,
Because
so
I
it's
don't
called
like
Wings.
that show. Yep,
It's
Okay.
Fine.
So you
I've just saved this universe.
sort of skip through. They are some recorded episodes of the show Wings. This is Wings with Dr. Dwayne Lawrence, a popular nature show from National Geographic from a few years ago. You see Dr. Dwayne, as he is known throughout the show. Sort of an older man with longer, sort of gray hair, kind of a wrinkled face, but nice, like smile lines and everything. Wearing this, like, he's all khaki. He is khaki shorts. He is khaki vest with pockets on the front. He is all sort of decked out. And yeah, you skim through these videos. He is an ornithologist, a bird expert, and TV personality. And these are videos of his nature show, Wings, where he goes out into nature and teaches you all about birds. It's fun. I don't know if it's the kind of show that Mike would like, but it's fun. He's very sort of charismatic, personable man. Knows a lot about birds, that kind of thing. So you sort of flip through them. He tells you a lot, just general information about birds. And now those handouts are really going to come into play because all that bird info that's on your bird handouts is in the show. So Mike now has access to all that information. Whether or not he remembers it is up to you.
He does, because it's related to his cult. Okay.
Okay.
He needs to protect his bird friends.
Yeah, if you're gonna start a cult, you got to know stuff about your cult members.
Yeah.
So yeah, information.
And their
about,
enemies.
especially birds that are sort of local to this area. So you've got your American robins, you've got your downy woodpeckers, you've got your wood ducks, your swallowtail kites, your red-tailed hawks, lots of other different types of birds that are native to this area. But those are the ones that you've encountered. So those are the ones I'm going to mention. You come to the third videotape in the series, and this video is different than some of the others in that it looks like it is sort of an uncut version of an episode of the show. There is some editing that hasn't happened yet. You're a movie expert. Your parents own a Blockbuster. You can sort of tell this, but yeah, it sort of looks like some unedited bits or some cut out bits that have been sort of burned onto this. Well, it's not burned. You didn't burn VHSs. That's CDs, Savannah. Get it together. It's 1985. That have been sort of recorded and left on this VHS tape, and you see this one clip that sort of sticks out to you. There is a clip of Dr. Dwayne being attacked by a bird, sort of a large hawk that he had previously sort of had perched on his forearm. And as he is sort of talking to the camera, kind of talking about the red-tailed hawk and everything, the bird sort of looks towards him and all at once just sort of flies toward his face, and the camera sort of pans down, but you can hear sort of yelling and screaming, and then footage as someone has sort of set the sort of large camera equipment down. You can see sort of from a low angle, mostly like feet and legs and everything, of people sort of rushing over to kind of help tend to these wounds that he has sustained, and then shortly after the video ends.
So it wasn't a solution of just look at it and be like, stop, and it stops. This is his most likely scarred and disfigured old man now.
Mm-hmm.
Mike's very good at sensing who's scarred and disfigured. Look at Stacy. So Axel just needs to edit this so it's properly, and then maybe it can go out into circulation. Right now, I don't think it's suitable for educational purposes.
The lost episode of Wings with Dr. Dwayne.
Dr. Dwayne. Well, yeah, I really just want to watch the videos.
Okay. Axel and Danny, you're looking for the Magnetrine ship. Do, 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 do. I'm gonna have you roll to comprehend.
So I have a total 4, or
Oh,
I guess 4 to that.
Let's see. What comprehend? That's tech. 5.
So it'd be tech plus comprehend.
Comprehend
You.
is mind.
Oh, I was looking at calculate. Oops.
Oh no.
Hang on.
I
There it
just
is.
can't read.
So 3.
Okay, so.
So I'll say you guys can either both roll, or one of you can help each other, and give someone an extra die on their roll.
We should probably just both roll, because that way there's more dice in play.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, because otherwise, otherwise I would have just like a 5 compared to 7 total between the two of us.
Your choice.
Look at you doing all that math.
Yeah.
Well,
So there is the.
Get that math out of here. We
how
don't do
dare
math
you.
on this show. This is
There
my
a potential
show.
concern that if you fail a comprehend roll, the game master gives you bad news or the wrong information. The
I
game
could just
master
give you
doesn't say
bad
what it
information.
is.
Nice. Okay. So we could both get terrible information. Or, well,
Hmm.
it's up to you. I'm helping you.
Yeah,
We're
let's
rolling
have you
separate.
help me.
Okay.
Okay, so I will temporarily bump up my comprehend by 1 to
Okay.
incorporate that. 0 successes. Gonna use another luck point.
Oh,
Okay.
Try
Can you
again.
roll?
Still
Oh.
0.
oh no.
Can I, at this point, still push the roll?
Yep.
Yeah, you can push the roll before or after you select one. I'm trying to think which one it would be. Probably angry, because
So
Uh,
mad.
yeah, because I think we had said at one point that the library probably does have some public records of the Megatron chips, and so we went there
Yeah.
first, and just like, oh, this one's not showing up. It's like, but how does it not? And so it's like,
But
okay,
why?
maybe I know something about my mom working at Dart and trying to look somewhere else, and it's like, nope, not there either. And it's just like, Ugh!
We've all been in that angry Google hole, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I buy that,
Angry
totally.
axle noises.
That like somebody wrote something about this.
Okay, so you're pushing it, so that means you get to roll again, right?
Oh, yes. Come on.
Come on.
1 success.
One.
Okay.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Oh yes, you can mark.
Andrew, an
Angry?
angry boy.
Yep. Oh, I rolled after I marked angry, but hey, so should I try
Oh,
rolling
yeah.
one more just to see if I get a
Yeah,
bonus?
you would have had 2, so the condition takes effect after you roll.
No, not a success.
Ah. Okay. So, but at least one.
But you got
Yes.
it. Yeah, you finally find a little bit of information about this old Magnetrine ship. It is you essentially what you find is that this ship first and foremost was a transport vessel. It for the most part never carried passengers. The only people it did sort of carry would be the pilot, maybe an engineer, and if necessary, maybe a couple of officers of some sort, to sort of be there as almost like escorts for whatever it was carrying. The ship was mostly employed by the military. There are a couple of conflicting reports. Most of them say it was for the United States military. A couple of reports say that it made its way over to the Soviet Union from time to time. This is sort of around 68, late 1968. But it generally what the ship was responsible for was to transport ore, mineral ore, quarried materials, anything that was sort of going into building machinery and things like that. Right around like mid 1968, it started making a lot of trips between the sort of southern United States and the Soviet Union, transporting a lot of ore, a lot of unnamed sort of materials. And then a few days before IEX 4Z23 was set to be retired, because it was an older ship and scrapped, it went missing.
It's just a few days away from retirement.
Ah.
That happens.
Never gonna get that pension now. Those are the official records. You do find a few stories and sort of other journals, other sources, some opinion columns, things like that. Some stories of a few citizens of Fountain City, Alabama, saying they saw a magnetrine ship go down over the river on the southeast edge of their town. The claims were considered by the government and by most news sources to be unreliable. They were never really, never investigated, never verified. Yeah.
This seems really odd. I mean, the way you two described it, it sounded like, no one actually went. Like it wasn't an official operation that emptied out the ship. This
Oh, it was
seems like
like raided or something.
yeah, this seems like the kind of thing that the government would want to figure out. So I wonder if, because I think based on my internal timeline, this ship would have crashed or gone missing well before Dr. Charlie left DART, right?
Yeah, so this happened in the late 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And for you get the impression that Dr. Charlie was at DART up until about 6 months ago.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, maybe someone wanted the ship to go down the way it did, but I don't think it was, the people who are using it now.
Yeah. I don't know. There was that weird contraption, like I said, in the cockpit, and who knows what that guy was doing in the back. We didn't really get a good peek at what he was up to.
I mean, I would imagine he's helping Dr. Charlie build that thing to brainwash all the birds.
I guess, but why? What do they want to do with all these birds?
I mean, Mike keeps talking about Hitchcock's birds. Maybe that's what they're doing? Cooking up their own bird army? I don't know why they would want to do that, other than, the mad scientist trope.
I guess. Adults are weird.
Yeah. But next time I see my mom, I can ask her about Dr. Charlie, see if she also knows about this. Looking for his name.
Michael?
Dr. Dixon.
Yes.
And also if she knows where Dr. Lawrence lives. Lots of doctors in this one.
Yeah. So you guys went to the house, and Stacy was like staying there.
Yeah.
And there was just a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, lots of notes and stuff. It didn't, it wasn't all nice and organized. It seemed, it wasn't an instruction manual or anything for the contraption, but some diagrams, some notes on different kinds of birds and how they've been reacting or how they might be influenced. I imagine maybe there were prototype drawings or notes or something, and I would guess whatever he has about what it actually does, he has with him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, let's go see if Mac's done watching those movies.
I'm just replaying the attack over and over again. Well, you might see something in the shadow.
Yeah.
Some distinguishing feature of the cameraman.
I mean, that bird looks like, I don't know. It's like
When
like
you guys
the
come
other
in,
birds
it'll
that
be
attacked
like,
us.
oi, 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 watch this. Don't look, and I'll rewind it, and then be like, what's this?
Well, I guess that explains why the show ended.
Did not cross my mind, but you're probably right.
What if that can't? What if that guy's like stuck there, like the birds are all attacking him, and that's why he hasn't left? Like he can't leave.
I guess it's a possibility.
I have gathered that the adults are kind of useless around here, so that is a possibility. He'll be fine another day, right? Possibly two. I don't know how bad homework is here. I can't fall behind.
Well, if we are these birds
Oh, shit,
nocturnal?
where'd you come from?
I just was been hiding behind the
Oh
corner
my
here.
God. Oh my god.
Sorry. I imagine Mel was just like on the other side of the bookshelf, like finishing reading
Yeah.
this book on
Yeah.
geology.
I love it.
Oh.
Are
I'm
these
lucky I don't
birds,
have my bat with me.
those hawks, are they nocturnal or daytime
Just
predators?
these bird facts.
From what I saw, doesn't say in my note taking. But I would think that they are.
They're not.
They're not. So if we just wait
They're,
until
they're
it's
mostly active during the day. The only nocturnal raptors are really owls.
so if we just wait till nighttime, they'll all be asleep, and then we can go back and talk to this guy.
But the swallowtail kite, the big white ones, they attack bats.
Yeah.
So they could be active at
Well.
night time. And this is birds which don't have wires sticking out of their heads. And we don't know if owls are infected.
Well, it sounds like whatever we need to do, we need to talk to that scientist guy, and we need to turn off that machine.
Can I
Yeah.
break your rock?
No, I don't think that'll help. I sort of figured out what it is. And by
Yeah.
sort of, I mean it doesn't really have a name.
So we can name it.
I don't
Frank.
think that's how it works.
Can we name the rock Frank?
We can name the rock. Yeah, we could name the rock, I guess.
So does that
I mean,
mean
you said it
when-
didn't have a name.
Yeah, so when the scientists go, you kids discovered this rock, what's it called? We'd be like, Frank. And then everyone else who's currently named Frank is now associated to a rock.
Well, okay, if it needs
I
to
don't
be
know,
more,
just popped in my head.
needs to be more sciencey, we'll call it Frankium. They're always just adding em to the end of.
Yeah.
Nobody likes the EMs though. Why don't the people change their name to Frankium, huh? Why does it have to be the rock? Does anyone ever consider what the rock thinks about this?
It's a rock. I don't think
Oh,
it thinks.
That's what we thought about birds, and then they're all asking for food. And
Is this
Human
what
language.
happens when you spend all your time watching movies?
I watch documentaries right now, and I'm
Right.
super smart right now. So
I don't think documentaries make you smarter. I think they just make
Yeah,
you feel
well-
smarter.
you had to ask me if the bird was nocturnal because you didn't know because you were dumb. I was smart, so I knew something you didn't.
All right, well, let's not call names. Anyway, so you figure out what this rock is, sorta.
Yeah, I think this is whatever they were using to make that machine.
Oh.
It sort of functions as like a not really a fuel supply. I guess it more like an energy conduit. Kind of creates.
battery?
Kind of, yeah. I don't really know how it works, but I guess the government got a hold of it, and everything else seems like redacted.
I mean, the ship was transporting it back and forth between the USSR and here.
We could probably ask Mike, the crazy Mike,
Mm-hmm.
the adult Mike, because it seems Mike's the smartest person around. Logan.
Yes. Is that something
Yeah.
we're gonna do tonight though? Because we got school.
Oh
tomorrow.
no. I'm gonna wake up from this dream and then it's just gonna be all sunshine and rainbows.
Watch as the forecast for tomorrow is thunderstorms.
What time is it right now?
It is like late afternoon. Y'all are encroaching on dinner time.
Do you want to eat birdseed? And I'll open up my burl up sack of birdseed.
Yeah, I guess nothing's. I mean, I can't imagine this is all gonna go just horribly wrong in the next like 24 hours. So we should be fine to wait till tomorrow.
Who knows? Maybe we'll have a lesson at school about birds or something.
So hope within 24 hours everything's on fire. It's under attack by birds. It's just.
Oh no.
Remember that one sentence you said?
That's why I said it.
And there's no toilet paper. No.
No. It's too real.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess better go start getting ready for school tomorrow.
You've probably been ready for the past 2 weeks, though, haven't you, Mum?
No, I'm gonna do my summer reading tonight before dinner.
Wait,
Oh,
there's,
not.
there's summer reading?
Yeah, it's only like the book's only like 300 pages, so I should be able to knock that out in like an hour and
What's
a half.
the book? What's the
What would be a good book for 12-year-olds in?
All I can think about was my summer reading.
Lord of
Because
the
I was like,
It was
I
garbage,
think-
so.
what year? What grade is 12th grade? Or
7th
12
grade.
years old? 7th. I think
You're going
we
into
read
7th
like
grade, all of you.
probably something by Mark Twain.
Remember novels, then it was lots of short
Adventures
stories.
of Huckleberry Finn.
I think we
did
read-
Lord of the Flies.
I think we read Huck Finn. My
Lord of the Flies, because I know that is a movie, and Mike can swing by a Blockbuster and grab it. And
The book Lord of the Flies came out in the 50s.
Yeah.
Huck Finn.
we'll go with
That's a
Lord of the
good one.
Flies. That
I want
seems
something that is
appropriate.
on tape,
Might
so
give-
I can grab that and watch it instead.
Might give Mel some ideas.
Oh
For how to deal with
You
his
wish,
cousin.
buddy.
no.
You wish. Do we want to fight? I've now
Now
got
the
baseball
movie
bat.
No conscious.
Come out until 1990.
Yeah, so you're
Not
SOL.
in this universe.
Oh wait, was there an older one?
Not in this universe.
There's a British version that came
Oh.
out in '63.
All I know is one version they apparently just swear basically every other line, which did not happen in the book.
Never seen the movie. Only read the
Cussing
book. We'll say
kids.
you can get a hold of the 1963
Yeah.
version
Uh,
of Lord of the Flies.
Okay. Yeah, it's only like 224 pages. I think Mel
That's a
could
little
knock that out pretty quickly.
Mark's just watching the movie and hoping it's the exact same as the
I wonder what would take longer, Mike watching the movie or Mel reading the book.
It is a British film.
Wait, my
Probably
mother's
wrong.
British, okay? So
I love British TV.
I'm part British. If you want to diss the Brits, I'll join in. Then it's allowed.
No,
See?
I love British films and TV. They're just long, some of them.
Yeah.
I've lost
Yeah.
the plot.
Uh, you guys act like any game I run has a plot. So you're all going home to get ready for school, which I do
guess.
want to talk about. Mel, you're doing your summer reading.
Mhm.
I believe that you can do this all in one night. That tracks for me. Is there anything else that you're doing?
Are you asking me specifically or just the group in general?
You specifically.
Oh.
I'm gonna go around. Sorry.
I'm probably it's my mom's probably home because schools hasn't started, but
Yeah.
they had a teacher planning day today, right? That was what they did?
Yeah, in service day. So
Yeah.
yeah, she's probably been home since about, I don't know, 4 or so.
Yeah, so it's probably a very quiet dinner, and then Mel reading this book as fast as he can so he can get to some of the comics that he bought earlier that day.
Or the amazing Tom his favorite cousin Jamie.
But he'll he'll read the book in 2 hours, and then he will take the rest of the night to read the one comic because he takes so long looking at the pages and stuff.
Okay. Oh, this is the new Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah. I don't know at which
Good
point
one.
they are in the I don't know which volume was out or which part
Well,
of
if it's
they're
something
at.
dramatic that we need to talk about.
No, the
tell me.
Flash dies at some point. I just don't remember which. I think it's a November edition.
Spoilers.
that comes out. Yeah, if you're spoiled at this point, fuck you. But yeah, the
Rude. I
so
was
we'll get to
spoiled.
that. We'll get to that eventually,
Okay.
and that'll be a traumatic
You
day for Mel.
Let me know. So
But,
yeah,
yeah.
you do your summer reading and you spend the night reading your new comics, and it's, I assume, great, and you love it.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Drinking a nice glass of vino.
You better not make Barry not your iconic item the day you read that comic book.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Mike, what are you doing?
Apparently, we had summer reading, which I had no idea about. So I found some British movie, which he probably falls asleep in straight away.
I think you get the general idea of school kids, and there's an island and stuff's going bad. You're not really sure.
He doesn't get the full meaning behind the movie or why everything went bad. He's just like, people just got into a fight. I can see that happening.
And you fall asleep halfway through.
Yeah, pretty much.
Axel, what are you doing?
Is this one of the nights where my mom is home, or is she still working at dark?
I think she, knowing it's you're the school tomorrow, I think she probably made an effort to be home for dinner.
Okay. Still trying to figure out if Axel would just be like, hey, whatever happened to Dr. Charlie, or if he's going to try a little more subtlety. Oh. Yeah, I think he's going to just start with, anything interesting going on at work, Mom?
Oh, honey, same old, same old. Weird hours and weird people.
Don't suppose you've heard about any kind of, maybe leaked experiments at the water cooler?
No, nothing so exciting as that.
Okay, good to know. Because the last time something leaked out of Dart, that was an interesting time for all of us.
She's looking at you like she has no idea what you're talking about.
Right. I know you're not supposed to admit it, but do you know what happens to some of your colleagues when they're not allowed to work at Dart anymore? Do they erase your memories or something?
No, again, nothing so dramatic as that. We work in an office, same as everybody else. People come and go. Where do you get all of these ideas?
Some of it's from Mel and his comics. Some of it's just from, saw one of the. How often do the Magnetron ships fly overhead? Is it basically a daily thing, or is it?
Every couple of days.
Yeah, saw one of the Magnetron ships the other day. Got to thinking.
You think an awful lot for somebody your age.
Think about anything other than the schoolwork that I definitely did.
Mm-hmm. Honey, if there's something you want to ask me.
maybe later I do want to get, a good night's sleep for starting at the big kids' school tomorrow.
You nervous?
I mean, a little. It's. Have you seen the seniors? They're practically adults.
Not quite. Listen, you'll be all right. All right. You're smart. You'll do just fine.
Okay.
Now go do your homework.
Yes, Mama.
Okay. And scurry off to do some reading that you definitely didn't do. Is there anything else? Axel. Okay.
Actually, I guess checking to see if my sister is still in or if she has snuck out already.
She's there currently. Sort of in this after dinner. She is in the house. A rare occurrence.
So I think I would actually go to her room and, knock, see if I'm permitted entrance.
You knock and you just hear from the inside, "What?"
Can I talk to you about your club just for like a minute?
Fine.
I open the door, go and close the door behind me. So you're in the wildlife club, right?
Yep.
Have you noticed anything weird with the birds lately?
Why are you so interested in birds?
Because I had a bird just fly down right next to me earlier today. And they don't normally get that close to people, and wanted to see if you knew something about it. I assume Wildlife Club pays attention to birds and things like that.
Yeah, Axel, birds are wildlife. Congratulations.
Okay, but have you seen anything weird or not?
If I tell you, can you keep your mouth shut?
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's been some weird stuff going on, and we're trying to keep an eye on it.
Okay, so if I told you that some of them have started talking and that they're building big giant nests in the woods, would you know anything about that?
I'd believe you. Listen, if you really want to know, you should try to talk to Dr. Dwayne.
Okay, yeah, that was on my to-do list, but good to know. Have you met
Wait,
him?
really?
My minute's up. I should be going now.
Axel?
Yeah, like I said, I saw the big giant nest in the woods, went up in it. One thing led to another, and I've remembered about Dr. Dwayne.
He's the one that founded the Wildlife Club.
And
But he's not so involved anymore. He had the show and then it ended and he came here. He started the club, but he doesn't really leave his house anymore.
Okay, well, do you think you'd be able to get me and my friends in to talk with him?
I can try. You have to swear not to say anything.
Just to, my friends I've been running around with, because we all had these running with the birds and trying to figure out what's going on.
I'll do my best. But he's kind of, hard to talk to.
I mean, Mike likes talking to people. He may be able to have better luck with that sort of thing.
Yeah, what is his deal?
He's Australian. That's the best I've got.
Oh, they're gonna eat him alive.
School or the club or the birds? Have the birds been eating people?
No, no, the birds have been eating people. No, I just mean, I don't know. I've seen you running around with him a little bit. He seems a little high on himself.
I
But if you like him,
mean, he's pretty alright. I mean, he does have a way about him that takes some getting used to.
Australia.
Australia.
All right, well, I'll put in a good word, I guess. It's not easy being the new kid.
Yeah, well, he seems pretty confident in that. Thinks he's gonna fit right in. Thanks, Angela. I don't imagine you're gonna be able to get word to Dr. Dwayne by tomorrow night.
I'll do my best. And like I said, keep your mouth shut. I know where you sleep.
Just starts backing to the door. Thanks, Angela. Have a good night.
Okay. All right. Danny.
Yeah.
What are you doing on your last night before school?
I'm trying to figure out. I think she did the homework.
She's like done.
Yeah. I think she probably did it, and then what else would she be doing tonight? It's probably like laying out like a shirt on her like bed, like a new one that they just got for like first day of school.
Okay.
And like underneath it notices that there's something that looks kind of like a crop top underneath it. And she like rolls her eyes and was like, ah, gosh, now I gotta start wearing one of these, I guess. And what else? That's mostly it.
Okay. So you all get ready for tomorrow morning. It will be Tuesday, September 3rd, 1985. The first day of 7th grade at Louisa May Alcott High School here in Fountain City, Alabama. And we will pick back up there in the morning, first day of school next time. We've reached the end of our time today, so we'll end our session there. There's no anxiety like knowing the first day of school's coming, huh? But yeah, we'll go ahead and end our session there. Put on some happy music. Let's see what we got. So thanks everybody for playing, and thanks everybody for watching. I guess we could do our XP stuff real quick. End of session questions. After the session, the kids get XP that they can use to increase skill levels. So, questions. There's 5 of them. Number 1, did you participate? Yeah.
Kinda.
Everybody did. Good job. You said kinda?
Yeah.
Listen, you guys can out yourselves all you want. So everybody gets one for that. So it's 1 XP for each question that's answered with yes for anybody watching. Number 2, have you been in trouble because of your problem or relationships?
I think so.
I mean, I rolled my D2, and Axel did have a crush on Stacy, and then rolled to do some research with her.
That's true.
And my problem, for those of you who don't remember, is unrequited love.
Oh boy.
For everyone.
No, my problem really kicks in when we get to school, because it's my rival knows what I'm trying to hide, and Mel's my rival, and Mel knows I wasn't the popular kid in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
but
It's
I'm
whether
the
Mel ends
popular
up
kid
caring
here.
enough to say anything. It's how much of a dick you are to him.
Oh.
Yeah, my
Why do
problem
you
is
think I'm being
my
super nice.
my problem is my dad, unless he was on that plane. I don't think had anything going on there.
Doesn't seem that way up front.
Maybe he's the stone that's powering everything. Is your dad's name Frank? Did we just name the stone?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
This sounds like he
That's a
knows.
rock. Oh boy.
He knows.
That's funny.
All right.
So that's Mike for you now.
So track your XP. Did you use or struggle with your pride?
Yes.
Mel, you checked yours.
Mm-hmm.
I can't struggle with everyone liking me because Stacy just bullies me.
Boy, you just wait. First day of school is tomorrow.
Now I'll
Gonna
check
get a
my
lot of
pride
XP.
straight up so everybody likes me and be like, look, I don't know how to run this school.
You have an accent, you're automatically the cool kid.
Till they
So
talk
I
to him.
dress up in like khakis to go into the wildlife club straight up, just blend in.
That is a good question.
It's a different club each case, each mystery Mike has to join.
Oh, Christopher Clark Scott's gonna show up next time, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta
Okay.
do a character study for that.
That's gonna be awesome. Christopher Clark.
Since your pride. Anybody else want to talk about their pride?
So mine is that I help others, and so it's like trying to help out Mel a lot when he hurt his leg.
You did, yeah.
his
I think
ankle.
actively.
Yeah, you definitely did.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Number 4. Did you put yourself at risk for the other kids?
I think Danny definitely did. I don't think I ever put myself at risk for her during that situation. But I
Yeah.
think she definitely put herself at risk for me.
I'm gonna fight some birds for you.
Yeah.
I guess I took the onus of the research role for Danny.
Yeah. I'll
That's
say you
true,
took
you
you
did.
did take a condition for that. So
Yeah. You got angry boy.
yeah. And number 5. Have you learned something new?
Nope,
Yeah.
not at all.
You literally went to the library and did research. I'm so proud of all of you.
We did.
This never happened to me before. I run
It
all
was-
these games based on mysteries, and this group was like, let's go to the library.
Yeah, it was a whole thing in your other game. So none of us did any sort of research.
Oh, wait, the one where you went to fight the same demon twice without knowing what it was, or
Yeah.
you can find that
Oops.
out, how that resolves next Sunday.
Sunday.
But we'll get to that in a second.
Still waiting for the crossover episode.
Listen, that's just gonna have to happen. Yeah. Any questions or final stuff about XP?
Nope.
Mm.
Anyone spending any XP?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I'm bumping my comprehend because we just did a bunch of research in a library, learning stuff.
Yeah, I've only got 4, so I can't.
I've only
Bump up
got
anything yet.
2.
Yeah, I'm carrying over from the last
My next
time.
level up, force is going to be at 5, so I'm going to be a full 10 die roll when I'm
Force?
We have yet
I'm-
to fight anything.
You getting strong?
He's ready for it, though.
Good.
I'm preparing for school.
He is ready to fight.
We've been running a lot.
This
so...
isn't prison. You don't have to find the biggest person and beat them up.
Unless.
Mike's just gonna
That's how
go
you
and
become a
beat up
cool guy.
senior.
Yeah. So I hear you're in charge,
The
huh?
like football captain.
Oh no. So yeah, a couple of you have conditions. So for that reference, there's a couple ways that you can clear conditions. Spending time in your hideout and like essentially dedicating a scene to talking it out with your friends, or doing something about your injuries, because injuries, at least physical injuries, aren't really healed by just talking through them. I don't want to perpetuate that at all. You will have to come up with a narrative reason for how you deal with them. But yeah, essentially spending time in the hideout. That is also what your anchor is for. So you all have an NPC that is your anchor that you can dedicate a scene to essentially talk to them about what is going on with you, what your problem is. And at the end of the scene, they'll talk it out with you and help solve that. So if you're wanting to do that, those of you, at least 2 of you have conditions right now, if you're wanting to do that, think about that for next time, because you guys obviously can always prompt scenes and sort of ask for them. And then there is the lead move, which if anybody wants to take advantage of, if you're really good at lead or heart, you can spend time with another kid to sort of talk everything out and help them and heal a condition of theirs. Potentially that one does require a roll, so you want to sort of lean on the other ones first.
So you want to come hang with your cousin for a bit? So he can help fix your strained ankle?
No. I'll go see the nurse tomorrow, thank you.
No. All right. But yeah, we will get into that, because it seems like next time you guys might solve this mystery. We'll see. But
I want to go through a
Expect us to be
full
very
maths
capable.
course.
listen, I thought you guys were going to solve
Want
it
a
this
math
time,
lesson?
but
Well, we know what's causing
Not
it. We just got to go
what
back and break
happened.
it. If we just went back there and destroyed the machine, probably fixed all the birds.
or
Maybe.
something awful would have happened.
It's
Birdnado.
all a dream. It
Bird
doesn't
data?
matter.
Anyway, we will be picking up this bird themed mystery 2 weeks from today. This is around April 16th. You can join us at 8 p.m. Eastern time to probably see the resolution of this mystery, and also maybe some fun conversations, maybe some drama. I mean, probably not too much because you're all like 12, so it can only be so serious. But yeah, join us 2 weeks from today. In the meantime, on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, we will have a new episode of Saturday Night's Thunderball, in which we play D&D, but sports. It's great and fun and tactical and interesting. You should check it out. And then on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time, we have a new episode of The Pursuit of the Black Kestrel, in which we are now also playing D&D 5e and going after some pirate treasure. There's a lot more details than that, but it's really fun. You should check that out as well. And then on Tuesday, a new episode of Eos, more Dungeons and Dragons, but this time Barry's running it. Our newest D&D campaign is happening Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then in between, we've got some one-shots happening on Monday night. We're having a Carbon Banner one-shot, which is fighting mechs, and it's going to be a disaster because Sean wrote it and I'm running it. So get ready. And then some other stuff in between. And I use disaster, you guys know this by now about me, as the most endearing term when it comes to games. So
Just
check us
remember,
out. What?
Don't hate the player, hate the game creator.
Specifically the game creator.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't hate him.
Checks.
It's great. It's a fun game. It's exciting, and I'm really excited to be able to run Carbon Banner. And then in between, come hang out with us. We're on Twitter. You can get updates for all of our streams and everything. there. We're at Game Nights with 2Gs and a K. And join our Discord. We have a ton of talking going on there right now. Most of us are playing Animal Crossing, and there's sort of lots of other chatting about games and things and one shots. And yeah, so come hang out with us. Anything anybody else wants to talk about before we go away for the evening?
Nope.
No? Okay. Well, we'll be back 2 weeks from today. And until then, good game. Bark, bark. Good night, Internet.
Good night.
Good night, Internet.
Good.
Bah, bah.